Producing this series, both Batman and Superman, it's literally like a comic book fan's dream come true. I mean, as I said, I've been a Batman fan ever since I was a real little kid. That was like literally the first thing I can ever remember drawing was Batman. You know, way back when I was like 5 years old or whatever. And so as an adult, be put in charge of the animated adventures of Batman was just kind of like heaven. The look of Batman in the series is kind of a combination of a lot of different things. It's based primarily on a lot of my comic book influences. The way Batman has looked in different comics throughout the ages is drawn by different artists, from Marshall Rogers to Alex Toth to David Mazzucchelli. Specifically, Alex Toth's Space Ghost design from the '60s Space Ghost TV series had a real big influence on my final version of what Batman looked like. Well, this represents the first time team up between our version of Superman and our version of Batman. Ever since we first aired the first Batman the Animated Series back in 1992, there was a lot of interest from comic book fans, to see, well, you guys did such a great job with Batman. What would you do with Superman? And so after the Batman series ended, we did, 50 some odd episodes of Superman. And again, this was something that a lot of comic book fans and fans of our series had been kind of, really itching to see. And so, we didn't want to disappoint them. Batman and Superman are literally like night and day. They have different motivations, different methods of operation. Batman is literally a creature of the night. He's all about vengeance and punishment, if you will, whereas Superman is a little bit more true blue, a little bit more optimistic about things. So their whole outlook on life they're completely at odds with each other. So when they team up together, it's interesting because they don't, unlike in the old Super Friends days where it was like, well, Batman, what are we going to do now? Well, Superman, I'll tell you, we're going to go do this. They literally don't get along very well. And as you'll see in the movie, when they first meet, there's almost, outright antagonism between the two characters. And they're literally like oil and water. They don't mix. But eventually they do realize that they need to work together for the common good. Teaming up these two characters also gave us the opportunity to team up their arch nemesis, the Joker and Luthor, and we thought that would really be a lot of fun as well because, again, just like Batman and Superman, the Joker and Luthor are completely different types of megalomaniacs, and Luthor is all about control, and he's more of a corporate tycoon, even though he's very shady, whereas Joker's just out and out nuts. And so when they team up, it's even more of a mismatch than Batman and Superman, and as you'll see in the show, it eventually turns into a big conflagration between the two characters. The Harley Quinn character, who is the Joker's hench girl, actually originated in the mind of one of my other co-producers, Paul Dini. He came up just as a throwaway character in one early episode of Batman. He felt it would be kind of funny if the Joker had a girlfriend slash hench girl who also had a kind of clown motif, and he initially keyed on the idea of making her a Harlequin type character, and that literally gave him the name Harley Quinn. We're constantly putting her in the Joker episodes just because she was such a fun character, and she's brought such a new dimension to the Joker that hadn't been there before. And so she kind of took on a life of her own, has become a very popular character. She actually has her own comic book now and everything. So it's yeah, it's you can't plan these things, but it just happens. But in this movie, again, since we were teaming up Batman and Superman and Luthor and the Joker, we felt it'd be kind of fun if, Harley and Mercy kind of got together and to see how the sparks would fly between them. And of course, we ended up having a big cat fight between them. We just couldn't resist. And it's one of the highlights of the episode. Lois Lane plays a really integral part in this story, and we felt that it would be a really interesting twist if she kind of fell for the good-looking, charismatic Bruce Wayne, rather than the traditional Lois and Clark and Superman triangle. We felt we'd throw Bruce Wayne into the mix and see what happened, and that led us down some interesting paths to the point where we literally, at one point, find out that Lois actually discovers Bruce Wayne's secret identity. And even though that's kind of an odd thing because, for all these years she's been, working side by side with Clark Kent and never found out that he was Superman, she's having a romantic relationship with Bruce Wayne, and within days she finds out that he's Batman. So it was kind of, again, it was just kind of an odd twist, just something to do to keep the thing fresh.